Well, hello, everybody. Hello. We had technical difficulty for a second. I mean, how crazy is that? It just like died, just crash and burn. I mean, that's the type of day you have sometimes. It's just a crash and burn. But we're doing fine now. We're back up and going. Hopefully, people will come back in and stuff. But we're actually not going to be talking too much today to anyone. You know, I just going to do some drawing. I'm going to show y'all what we're working on here with Skits. So that's mainly what we got going on today. So I got this thumbnail here that I'm working on Page, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to work on that and say hello to people from time to time, check in on the chat. So there you go. This is a fun page, and I just wanted to kind of show you where we're at, what we're doing, different things like that. So hopefully y'all will enjoy this. I think it's going to be a little fun. We'll work on it for an hour or so and just see what happens. Let me get a drink right quick. Let me say hello to people in the chat. We got Black Star. Let me actually hide one of these banners right quick here. Thank you to our backers. I would like to say thank you to our backers. I really do appreciate every one of our backers, and it's just great to have y'all. I mean, when we first started this, we didn't know what would happen, and we're doing really good. We're doing good. We're excited and everything. And Black Star's in the chat. She was saying the show must go on. I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, we started up the stream and it just crashed. Like as soon as I went live, it just went bam. I was like, wow, thanks, StreamYard. I appreciate that, but that's okay. So Black Star's in the house. We got Kevin Tomset. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I really appreciate you. I'll get into this here in a minute. We got VIP. VIP is always in the house, and he's always saying, Skits! And I always say back to him, VIP! You know, so that's cool. Appreciate you for being here, VIP. We do appreciate you. We appreciate you. And look, we got Burst Films, we got Black Star, everybody. Okay. Real pages. Yeah, this is page 20 that I'm working on right here. You can tell at the very top of the screen, it says page 20 right there. So that's actually what I'm working on. We got the thumbnail in, and I'm actually going to start drawing here a little bit. And if you got any questions, just say hello, pop out the questions, see what's going on and stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to be drawing. And when I think of things when I'm drawing, you know, to tell y'all, I'll go ahead and do that. But I want to be a little more quieter than usual, you know, because that's just something that you got to do sometimes. You got to be quiet when you draw, you know, because that's just the way it is, you know. Just you got to get in the zone, as it were. All right, so I got Skits is right here in the foreground on this, and then he's got a couple of people who are walking with him back in here. And I think I want to work mainly on this. And what they're doing is they're coming through this rocky pass right here. And then in the background, there's way down at the bottom of the mountain, you can kind of see the river back here. And here's a bridge that Skits had passed a few pages back, maybe 5, 6 pages back. But I want to have that in there to kind of give it relative, so you can be like, oh, this is where he's coming from, this is where he just was, and he's leaving that area. And in the panel up above here, you can actually see that as well, that here's that bridge again right there. Here's the village in the background. They're leaving the village, they're walking along the river, which is through here. And this is going to be Skits, and this is going to be the two guys that he's with right here. So that's what's going on right here on this page, page 20. And I also got my pagination chart right here. Pagination chart. This is the first 20 pages. We also got, now when I did the pages for the campaign, I didn't just say, oh, I'm going to do the first 5 pages and bam. I actually showed some pages that are halfway into the book. So I got these pages right here, plus I got a bunch of more pages that I haven't gotten to. And once I have gotten to those, then I'll add them to my pagination chart. But right now, these are just a bunch of thumbnails. Some of them are finished, some of the digital pages and stuff are finished. And I just want to kind of have them in here so I can look at everything. And I like to do like 10 or 20 pages at a time, so I'll block out a bunch, and then I'll go back and start drawing all of them. So that's what I've done. And what I've gotten to here is after this page right here, page 20, we're going to have a big reveal, a big double page spread reveal right here. And that's why I stopped here on this. So, and I'm not going to show you that right now, but what I am going to show you is how I work on this page. So I got Skits here. Let me go in here and just let me say hello to the chat. Is there any more people in the chat? Oh yeah, here we go. Hey, El Gargoyle. Thanks for stopping in. I'm about to do some drawing. So which river? I'm not going to tell you which river. It's just something you have to find out in the book. There's no words here for a reason. Some would say lunch. I know, man. It's like it's getting at that point, It's like it's time to eat. It's time to eat, people. Let me get a drink of water before we get started. And there, yeah. So let me get my eraser. There we go. Eraser 4. Hello. Hey, there we go. We do more than that. There we go. I don't want to erase the thumbnail out completely here. We'll give it a little bit more. And I'm just going to detail Skits out a little bit more here before I go in and start doing the finals. I just want to get the overall gesture done. And what I'm using to kind of help me, I'll probably, let me just go ahead and dull this whole page down a little bit. And I'll just do a new layer and draw in the, sometimes it's easier just to kind of draw it in and then move it around, which is the good thing of working in the computer for your thumbnails and roughs. Verse Films asks, are you following the script verbatim? Pretty much, yeah, definitely. That's, I just feel like that's the best way to go. And I need to get the angle on Skits right here. Let me see here. Okay, so. And just for y'all that don't know, I'm actually using a Sticky Bones animatronic. It's like a human figure, and it's used for animation and stuff like that. They're called Sticky Bones, and I have one next to my table where I can pose it so I can get a rough idea of how the figure is going to look, to help me out with my gestures and stuff like that. And that's pretty much all I use them for, is to make sure that I get my gestures done right. Okay, and I'm not too worried about getting the size right now. I just want to get the gesture down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roughly gesture this in. Bam. And the other hand will be back here. Let me work this like that. Yep. And he's stepping up in here, so like that. And I like to over exaggerate the poses. I just feel like, you got to show everything, and if you over exaggerate the poses, it tends to help you, I feel. That's roughly what we're going to have here. Something like that. He's looking up right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I got the rough gesture in, I'm just going to scale it and kind of get it in here where I want it. And probably part of his leg will be behind here, so that's fine. I just want to make sure everything's in proportion. That's looking roughly like it's pretty good. I think that'll be just fine right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah. Sometimes you realize you drew something a little squatty and you can just kind of stretch it. That's another good thing about working in the computer. So I'm gonna do that, and then I think that's gonna be it. All right. Yeah, that's looking good. And I gotta get my perspective on the limbs right. That's always an important part right there. Make sure all that's done properly. Bam. Okay. And then this leg is pushing off of that leg, so it's, real strong right there. Okay, I'm happy with that now. That looks good. Let me go ahead and bump this up. The layer underneath. Stop. And we'll just kind of put those two together, merge layers, and then we'll lighten them back out and start trying to do some more detail here. There we go. All right, let's say hello to people. We got a couple more people. Who we got in here? Let's see here. Justin J. Money McClure. Thanks for stopping by, J. Money. Appreciate you. Really do appreciate you. Thanks for stopping in here. All right, let me take another little drink. I'm kind of dry this morning. So, yeah, a little dry. All right, let's get to work. Let's do work here. Let me block this guy out. And of course, since this is Skits, you ain't gonna really see his hands. That's a cool thing, like if you design characters, do designs that look cool and also make it easy for you to draw. So Skits is actually pretty easy to draw because I don't have to draw his hands. Just a little trick there because he's in the straitjacket, So that's cool. Let me zoom in on him a little bit here so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. So yeah, that's a little trick that I've done with Skits. He's a little easy to draw because of no hands. And some other characters, I've done some little gimmicks to make them look cool, but at the same time make it easy to draw. And I always like to kind of rough everything in, even though I'm not going to be drawing some stuff. But it's good to have it there so that you know what you're doing. Little. I know that I don't have to draw all this stuff here, but I'm going to just because it helps. Mhm. You gotta bump up. Go. Yeah, there we go. And of course, this is just a rough pass as well. I'm just blocking it in right now And then I'll do the final rough over the top of this, or maybe we'll just leave it where it's at. You know, I mean, who knows? We'll see when we get to a certain point. You know, because I'm going to transfer this to paper, and I want to leave a lot of work for me to do, you know, in the paper mode. You know, so it just makes it kind of fun and exciting in paper mode. Let me zoom this out because you know, we're coming through this mountain pass right here, you know, and there's going to be wind whipping, which is, you know, always good. You always got to have wind whipping, even when you're indoors. Have some wind blowing so it makes the characters look cool, right? So let me, I don't want to do that because that'll cover up the characters. Maybe we'll do something like that. It's kind of whipping over here. There we go. That looks fine. Fine and dandy. All right. Yeah. This is nice. I was gonna see about inviting some people in to talk to me while at work, but then I realized I just need to get this work done, and probably not a good idea. So maybe next time, you know, I'll go ahead and invite some people in. But for this one, we're just going to do this. And a lot of this back here is actually going to be behind the rocks. And since the strap is kind of going over some of that rock right there, maybe what I'll do is I'll accentuate this rock portion right here. There. That way, let me bump that up just a bit. That way, we don't have tangents. You know, you always got to look for tangents. You don't want tangents. Very bad. There we go. That way, we ain't got a tangent. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. And then the foot goes behind that little rock. We'll draw this foot in, obviously, because he's stepping up. But the other one, I'm just going to leave back here. And that also helps with, I don't have to draw that boot. And then you have these step up areas behind him where this character is going to be coming into play. And that's fine. You know. Can I draw feet? Of course I can draw feet. Can Rob Liefeld draw feet? Of course he can. He just doesn't. And neither shall I on this one. But no, I usually draw the feet. It's always good to ground your characters. And drawing in the feet on the character is very important to ground your character. Now I got to make sure I get this foot here at the right angle. You know, because we're kind of here and then it, you know, draws down prospectively a little bit. You know, we're seeing this at an angle, especially this boot, because that's just, you know, the angle that we're looking at. And I want to keep everything consistent here. Bam. There we go. And of course, you know, I'll probably go back on things here and there. You know, I'm just trying to rough it in best I can. And then you'll go back and look at it and say, that's kind of off. But, you know, let's try and get everything in. And then we can go back and worry about that, you know. But still, this is a cool pose, you know. I like this pose. Main thing is to make it look cool. It doesn't have to be right. It just has to look cool. That's my opinion. But we're going to get it as close to right as possible. I might want to enlarge that boot a little. Another thing, when you're doing things digitally and you've drawn something and you've drawn it wrong, you can just fix it. I think this needs to be right about there, just a little bit off. But this is why you do thumbnails. This is why you do this stuff, so you can get everything laid out perfectly before you actually put it on paper. You know, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool. I love doing all my thumbnails digitally, mainly for this. Man, my throat is dry this morning, you know? But yeah, doing things like this is wonderful. It helps you out a lot. There we go. Bam. Like that. Let me get another little drink of water. Hello to everyone. Everyone in the chat. Got El Gargoyle here. What do we got? Is Skits in demand? Yes, it is. Go over to Indiegogo. We got the links here. It's at the bottom. I mean, you're probably seeing it. You're probably laughing because it's been going across. Of course, Skits is in demand, man. Tree Goblin, I edited the feet later. Yeah, exactly. It's like, just pop it in there. We'll get it later. But thanks for joining us, Tree Goblin. I like that name too, Tree Goblin. That's cool. Yeah, Skits meets Mr. Boot. Sounds like a new movie. I know, we did Skits meets Mr. Chair. Black Star, if you want, you can put a link to that in the chat so people can go check that out if they want, you know, because that's cool. Skits meets Mr. Chair. But right now, we got Skits walking over the area here, and that is what we're working on. There we go. Bam. Got the strap going down. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm kind of getting this strap in. All right. There we go. Got to get my angles all down. There we go. Roughly like that. And then the straight jacket comes up and under the arm like so, and then back that way. Like that. I've been drawing straight jackets for so long, I can, I just draw them right out of my head. Like most things, you know, you just draw it out of your head. Once you get to a certain point, you know, years of practice, you just start to draw things out of your head. And that was something I learned at a young age, is to draw everything out of my head. But the funny thing is I thought everyone drew out of their head, but they actually don't. Most people just draw visual reference. For all you young people out there, most people just use visual reference for all their drawing. I didn't know that when I got started. So I was kind of ahead of the game because I already learned how to draw everything from my head by the time I went to college. It's just really good to help you to learn to draw from your head. Kind of looking like Shaggy a bit, isn't he? Well, once we get everything in, it's like you got to lean forward. You got to get that, that moving forward type look to you. Excuse me. Excuse me. Put those lines in the pants here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's looking good. There we go. There's the lines for the straitjacket. There'll be a buckle back in here. And there you go. And this right here, I love that strap flapping in the wind. Now, this is pretty much good right here for transferring it to paper. Like if I got this right here, that's plenty of information. But since we're doing this here for y'all, I'm actually going to do a little more detail, than I normally do. But that right there, that's plenty for skits, I can transfer that to paper and we're good to go. Just kind of zoom out to show people. That's looking pretty good, pretty good. All right. Now let me rough this fella in back here. Now these guys, I kind of did my thumbnail little weak on these guys, but I'm gonna give them a little bit more with their poses because they're hiking up this area and they're humping like some major stuff on their back here, provisions for a few weeks journey. And so let me try and get that weight, make sure I get that weight in their character and their walking character. Got that. There we go. That helps a little bit. And again, once I get most of the character down, I really don't need much else, because I want to do all the detailing on the paper usually. Just as long as I get the major angles down when I'm doing this, I'm usually pretty good with that. Actually, these guys aren't going to have that. Not bad. What they will have, though, is, there we go, the top knot. There we go. There we go. That looks good. Now, if you're wondering exactly what I'm putting into this top knot, it's mainly their ears. They have really long ears, and that's what's being put into that top knot is their ears. So there you go. Now you know. Let's go over here and see who is William C. Hey, William C. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate you. We got a few people in here, just been talking, saying, hey, I'm just doing some work here. Man Bun is alive and well in Skits. Yes, it is. Hold on a sec. Let me take some water here. All right. There we go. And again, I'm just roughing these characters in right now, just trying to get the postures and the, all that sort of stuff in. And we'll be able to see most of this will kind of be in the shade. But then, there we go. He's got a leg up. Got to get a leg up in the world. So that's him getting one leg up. There we go. All right. All the way back. And then he's got his, these guys are bow and arrow type guys here. So that's what they're going to have there, some bow and arrows coming out their quiver. And of course you got to have a bow. There we go. Nice big long bow there. And of course it ain't perfect, but we're just blocking it in for right now. I'm liking all of that. Okay. All right. And let's get this guy down here who's way back here trying to come up the hill. A little bit behind. Gotta give him his top knot. There we go. nose. And again, let's burden him a little bit more. He's got that big heavy thing, so he's got to kind of lug it over. Yeah. His is going to be back behind here, I think. Well, maybe a little higher up. There you go. Oh, something that I forgot to put in here. Skits has something hanging around him. So I need to put that on. There we go. It's going across his shoulder. And then we'll probably see some of it back here. Like so. There we go. There we go. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I get back to this fella. And again, I don't want too much detail. I mainly just want nice, bold shapes so I can put it onto the paper. You know, this is thumbnails and roughs, basically, kind of all together. But I need it to be a certain way because of the way I transfer it to paper. I actually use a projector. So there we go. He's back there. Let's see here. This is going right here. Back up into here. That's looking good. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, so here we go. We got William C. I missed the beginning. I heard you say print out. So do layers of physical top of this. I don't print anything. What I do is I project it. Once I get the rough shapes in here where I want everything, you know, just I don't detail this out too much, but I just want the major and minor angles of all my characters, you know, a nice, tough, tight rough. And then I'll take a projector and project it onto paper and trace it onto the paper. And then I'll go in and do all the details, you know. So basically, I just want rough stuff there. That's all. So yeah, just get all the rough, the major, you know, angles and rough look of everything, and then we'll go from there. So that's what we're doing. No printing. No printing. I like my art pages, my pages of skits art to look like original pieces of art, actually. You know, real nice, no blue lines underneath, you know, just nice finished stuff. That's what I like. All right, and again, you know, like I said before, we got this bridge in the background on the river that's way far away, and I might put down a grid so I can get the river to look exactly how I want it to and everything. Maybe use some reference, some photo reference of what things look like from way up above, because I want this to be, you know, like way up above. There we go. Something like that. But again, you know, I'm just using rough stuff here. And then the other end, if I, there we go. I'm just kind of roughly figuring where this will be perspective-wise. There we go. Something like that, basically. Okay. All right. then bam, that's pretty much good enough. And of course, not going to see that edge of the bridge too much because of the rocks and stuff over here. And then there's going to be kind of like a little path that you can see going up this way. And that's where they came from. Yeah. So it just kind of tells everybody what's going on in right now. It's like, okay, they came from there, which you can see from this one up above. That's where they came from. Then they took this path and now they're up the hill, right? Takes your eye through the page in a nice little S formation. And then we're also going to have to put some of the huts and stuff back in here and the buildings, you know, so it gives a visual reference as to where they came from. And of course, I haven't drawn out the town too much, so I'm just kind of roughing it in from my memory right now. But we'll definitely figure it out, you know. So I'm just going to roughly block it in, and then we'll figure it out from there. And there's going to be hills there. There we go. Because it kind of sits on the side of this river with hills up behind it. So that's what we'll do, right? Don't have to put too much in here. Just a few things, you know. Make sure, you know, the main character is Skits, so you want to have lines kind of, you know, got these lines pointing towards Skits. Yeah. And that's pretty much how you do it, you know. Let me pull away the under sketch. That's really what we got right now. There we go. Got the tab on the back of the boot. Like so. Got the pant leg kind of dangling over the boot a little bit there. And we got this little rocky bit. This will have a nice hard line once we get it in there. Oh, let me, yeah. Don't like that angle. Let me do it like that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. We can draw some of this rough stuff in here just for fun. Might be a little too much. There we go. Just want to have some bold stuff to kind of let you know this is the foreground here. Nice bold line. And of course, the strap will be in front as well. Let me clean up that strap a little bit. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, let's see what we got here. Great question, Eunice. Okay. What is this here? Have you decided where your balloons are going to be? Yeah, I always do that in the thumbnail stage, you know, where I'm roughing things out. I always make sure that there's areas for the word balloons. Cool thing about this panel is there are no word balloons, so it's all about just drawing. So don't have to really worry about that too much. With architecture drawings, I will often do the opposite: sketch on paper, scan in, and then Photoshop render the rest. Yeah, if I'm doing digital pages, you know, I'll use photo reference and all that sort of stuff and really get it in there. But because this is going to be drawn on a page, I'm actually just I'll when I get to it, I'll get to it. You know, I'm just kind of roughing this in, and then once I get it on the paper, then I'll detail all that out. What I will get some architectural or perspective lines, a grid down, so I know everything kind of works that way. But I just haven't drawn the main village yet, which is a couple pages earlier. So once I draw that out, I'll have a better idea of where everything sits, so I can do like a floor plan of all the buildings in the village. That way it looks like it's supposed to once I get to this part. So that's what I'll be doing. Yep, Black Star's telling everyone to go get your 3-book journey. I know, man, we're at 17,295 or something like that. We're almost at 200 backers. It'd be great to get to that 200 backers mark. So yeah, looks amazing as always. Thanks, First Films. I just wanted to kind of let everyone see what I'm doing right now, you know, because I haven't been on here for a while because I ended up having a root canal done. It's my first one. I haven't really had anything serious like this before. But I asked the dentist, I was like, what's wrong with the tooth? He's like, it just died. I was like, died? Like a tooth will die? He's like, yeah, it just died. He's like, it happens. Yeah, I was like, there's nothing wrong with the tooth. He's like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. It just died. And it was like the last tooth all the way in the back. And I guess it comes from trauma. Like you can experience some sort of trauma on your teeth, and that's what causes it to die. Like you might bite down too hard on something and it kills it, or you might get hit in the mouth or something. So those are the ways that your tooth can die. But anyway, mine died, and it kind of came on real sudden. One morning we were out of town, like we were visiting the nearby city to us, and it came on, and oh my gosh, I'd never felt anything like that before. So it was pretty bad. But anyway, we were able to take care of it. It took a week to get into any place to have it done, and of course it came on a Saturday when no one can help you. So, but it's good now. Everything's fine. Just waiting to get the final crown on it. Dead tooth needs a crown. It's so ridiculous. Dead tooth. There we go. There we go. Everyone's happy, I think, here. Mm-hmm. And it looks like Skits has kind of a funky look on his face, but it's because of the angle and stuff. But we'll finish that up and when it's on the paper. But for right now, it serves our purpose, and it'll work just fine. Yeah, I need to show a little bit more of that side there. All right. But yeah, this is looking good here. I'm kind of liking this now. Maybe what we'll do here, that's about 45 minutes. That could do for now, but I think I'm gonna detail this panel up here a little bit too. Let's try and do that a little bit. I'm gonna bend my my little fellas here, my sticky bones, and just try and get me a little position where I can see. There we go. I'm just bending it a little, trying to get it into position that I want. There we go. And this one, I'm actually going to, no, I'll just work on the same one. It don't matter. All right. Go. And I'm just gonna, again, lightly thumbnail in some of this stuff. I got my little sticky bones off to the side that I'm using so I can get the arms and everything in the right position. There we go. Where's this? Okay, like that. There we go. It's roughly put in right there. Let me get the rest of them in, because he's going to be stepping. And I think his feet will be off screen a little bit, and that's okay. And then he's got his little pack on the back there. Yeah. All right. The other end over here. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna look cool. And then of course I gotta put the top knot in. He's gotta have his top knot. There we go. Going around the corner. And we're cool. There we go. There we go. And of course his bag of arrows will kind of be poking up, I think. Something like that, maybe. I don't know, it might be all the way back there. All right, let's do the guy behind him. And of course, again, like I've said, I like to over exaggerate my poses a little bit. I think it helps, but that's just me. You know, you can do whatever you want. I like to over exaggerate all my poses as much as possible without it looking goofy, like a cartoon or something. All right, let's see here. What do we got? We got some stuff going on here in the chat. They're talking about my crown and stuff representing a halo. Well, isn't the crown symbolic representation of halo, or vice versa? Maybe in a holy. Yeah, I think so. We're just talking about pain. Yeah, exactly. Root canals in my time. Oh, sorry, William C. You got lots of root canals. I don't. I've only had one. I'm, you know, we're in our 40s here, and I've only had one, so I think that's good. That ain't too bad. All right, yeah, let me just put this in. Feeling pretty good about that. There we go. He's got his backpack. Right. Maybe about down in here. There we go. And there. Then step in here. You know, it's always good to get your gesture right. If your gesture is wrong at the beginning, your whole drawing will suffer, you know. So it's always a good thing to make sure you get your gestures down really good. If your gesture's right, most likely your drawing over it will be spot on. So there we go. Top knot. There we go. Basically like that. I think that's looking pretty good, those two guys. There we go. And again, you know, I'm just trying to get the overall gesture and blocking out the figures, especially when it's this small. This is really small. I just want to make sure I got the gesture and the overall everything blocked in really nice. That way I can draw it out on paper really nicely. Okay, so we got this, and it looks like it's going right into his head here. So, and I don't want it to get mixed in with that line behind there. So I gotta I've kind of put myself in a spot here, and maybe I'll do it like that. That'll be okay. That's fine. That's the rock. And then, yeah, that'll work out because then it comes down here. Right. You got some stuff going on up in here. There we go. Mm-hmm. There we go. It comes around this rock and then down around here like that. Okay. There we go. And then we got another one coming right in here. Now we got Skits back here. Skits is going to be pretty small in this one. Kind of lagging behind. And most likely Skits is just going to be a light outline because, well, just because. This is this path here. Most likely what I'll do is I'll draw some stones in here. You know, this is like a stone path, you know. And I'm just kind of drawing these in so that it doesn't, I don't have any tangents or anything like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. There we go. Okay. There we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at one time this was really, really pretty. That still is pretty. I'll make it look pretty. Actually, this one, no, this one goes right up to here. There we go. There we go. Okay. That'll be fine. There we go. Okay. And that kind of comes up here, some more of the rock face. Like so. Lots of organics in this part of the story. I love drawing organic material, trees, rocks, that sort of thing. Makes for a lot of fun stuff. Let's see here. We got William C. again. One thing I like about this book, from what I've seen, is that the backgrounds matter in part of the story. Yeah, the story is Skits, but it's about the world that Skits is in. So the world you know, that he's traveling through and doing everything in is very, very important to the story. So whenever I lay out anything in thumbnail, a lot of times when you see people working on their comic books, they just do character, character, character. Well, for me, when I lay out my panels, it's all environment and characters. So it's like I put the environment in and then the characters in that environment based upon, you know, the story that's going on, you know, that I'm working from. So yeah, the background's integral part of the storytelling, and I think it should be for most stories. And I think that's one of the things that I don't like about a lot of comic books is there's no backgrounds. You have no idea where it's taking place, you know, just, but you know, people do whatever. Backgrounds, attention to detail, storyline. Yep, 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 yep. Will you be photo referencing some backgrounds later or painted with other art styles? I'm definitely going to be using some reference material, you know, like you know, across the river here. I'm going to be using some reference. When I go to color it, I'll probably use some creek references for the creek right here that they go across, this little river slash creek, and out for that, and then the trees in the background and stuff like that. You know, I'll lightly use some photo reference for that, because I mean, do you want to draw an entire forest? Not necessarily. You know, I'm gonna kind of get that stuff in there. You know, so definitely some photo reference. Just so everyone knows, tomorrow we're having a come get some. Come get some. So Black Star is going to be doing the come get some. Why don't you talk about it in the chat a little bit as well, Black Star? Pop it in there. But she's going to be doing some interviews, a live one at 2 p.m. So tomorrow, 2 p.m. at right here at this channel. You know, this is where you come and get your come get somes. So that would be cool. All right. And of course, some of the reference material here, the buildings and stuff. We'll have those in here. Again, I'm not exactly sure where everything's going to be, but I'll figure it out. You know, I just rough it in here for right now just so y'all can see it. We got Skits here. He's got that thing on him now. Let me see here. His right arm has the long strap, so the wind's coming around here. We'll have the strap kind of. I love having this strap kind of blowing the wind everywhere. So that's what we're going to have here as he's walking. Maybe it'd be more like down here. There we go. Nice. Maybe, yeah, that'll look good. But I need to actually do some concept drawing for this village. I need to figure out exactly what it's going to look like. So that's on my agenda a little bit later. I got to do some real world work though, because I just got an email from a client. He's like, hey, I need this done to this. That's actually why I'm doing this live, is because I was waiting to hear from him. But I just got an email from him saying that they need some work done. So I'm probably going to switch on over to that. And this is pretty much everything I wanted to show anyway. So this is cool. I've basically got everything exactly where I want it, so I can go ahead and project it onto paper and do the final drawings. And maybe since I've done this one live, once I start doing the final drawing, I'll do that live as well on the table with paper and pencil, so y'all can see that. So that'll be cool. But anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. I mean, this has been awesome. I always like doing this. I'm gonna play a little video here. Let's give one more shout out to the chat, see what's going on there. Yep, tomorrow, 2 p.m. That's right. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Eastern. It'll be Come Get Some Live at 2 p.m. with new creators, man. So come check that out, you know. And of course, you know, when I do these drawing shows like this, I'm always kind of down tempo, being a little quiet, because I'm here to concentrate and draw. I ain't here to go crazy and talk about everything. So, all right. Also, Verse Films is in there saying, hey, we can edit your next campaign video or horror concept video for your IGG or Kickstarter, Indiegogo or Kickstarter, First Film Production on Twitter. Go check them out, man. They've already done a little something for a couple campaigns that have really helped them out. Shut up. Mandible Smasher again for dropping that reality blur tier. I know, man, it's awesome. So cool that they did that, and they shared the video of his son actually getting it as a present, and he was really psyched about it. So we're waiting to get the pictures from him. We can put him in here on this, so that's going to be awesome. They're getting drawn into the book. You too can be drawn into the book. Go over there to the Skits Comic Indiegogo campaign, which is running at the bottom here on the ticker. And, you know, just if you want to be drawn into this book, if you like what you're seeing, go on over there and get drawn into the book. I mean, how cool is that to get drawn into the book? I think it's cool. I'm sure you do too. So go check that out. Let me go ahead and stop the screen. Let me share the campaign for everybody so you can actually see it. Bam. That's right. There it is. That's the campaign. I'm actually going to rewind this so we can play that out. We're at 17,265 with 191 backers. We did a couple shows yesterday, and that helped us out. We got a few more backers. So get on over there, share it out, do whatever you can. You know, we're still live and pumping, and we're going to keep on pumping until we actually ship this book. So we'll be in demand for a while. Come by, say hello, check out what we're doing. And thanks as always. Y'all have a good day now.